Oh, mate, what a story that is, by the way. Mate, it's content.
No.
Do you boys think that looks nice?
It looks grim.
You say it looks grim?
That's like on my arse.
Great.
Actually, that's my shit.
Luke, you've not gone for Luke, so who have you gone for?
I gone for Jesse Lingard. Beans.
Oh no. Be quick. And today is a big day, boys, isn't it? Today is a big day. We're going to our first football match as a group, or all of our first football match in 15 months. Right, here we go, boys. We're recording. We are live. This is a.
And it's live.
Oh no!
It's live.
Oh, this is staying in, by the way. This is staying in.
We need to make that the intro. Just it's live.
Mate,
And that's it.
I'm very sure Sky Sports may sue me, but you know.
Do you reckon that's actually copyrighted?
Oh, 100%. 100%, man. There's no doubt about it. Anyway, how are you boys today? Anyway, you alright?
I'm good, mate. How are you doing?
I'm alright, mate. How about you, Jack? How are you?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Nice. I mean, yes, we have spoken today, but not very much. I just thought I'd check how you boys are.
Yeah,
Okay.
You guys very much at all, actually.
Yeah,
It's sad, really.
It's a bit mad, isn't it? Yeah, that's 2020 for you, or 2021 in fact, both of them. Anyway, boys, hello, welcome to the Bullet Header podcast. This is first time in a while we've done a podcast. We have had a previous podcast. It's on Spotify. If you want to listen to it, just type in Sport of SM. But you know, we're not here for Sport of SM. We're here for Bullet Header, the football podcast. Anyway, so this is our new podcast. We're just coming to you with the latest news and the latest football headlines, and you're just going to review games, talk about the latest transfers as well, and some of the Euros coming up. And I will introduce to you my two co-hosts. I've got Luke Rodford, mate. How are you, Luke?
I'm good, mate. I'm very good.
Okay, and I've got Jack Lewis as well. How are you, Jack, mate?
Yeah, I'm good as well.
Jack, mate, sorry, happy hour podcast. Yo, Jack, we're coming for you, mate.
Yeah, we're robbed.
We're going to be number one in the charts. No,
Why did you look out the window like he was there?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, watch this. Come down from London.
Oh, man, no. So coming up on today's show, we have an introduction to the podcast, what we're gonna provide to you. We're just gonna introduce ourselves as well, tell some football stories, tell who we support. We're just gonna, share with you for the first 10 minutes or so. Then we're gonna come in with a recap of the FA Cup final that was on Saturday, as well as talking about some general news like the Harry Kane saga, whether Trent should make the Euro squad or not. And then later on in the podcast, we're gonna be going through our season awards, going through team of the season, player of the year, young player of the year, manager of the year, and comeback player of the year. So without further ado, let's get into the podcast. So Luke, go tell the new Bullet Header audience, who are you?
So my name is Luke Rothford. I come from Yeovil. I am a Tottenham Hotspur fan. Dad supported them, so you can boo. My dad came from. No, my dad supported them after watching many matches, and I was obviously, in my opinion, took up the mantelpiece to support them as well. My granddad supports them, so it just seemed right, really.
There you are, mate. And how did you get into football in the first place?
I can't really remember. Just sort of, my dad watched it all the time, so it just sort of. There was a moment like when I was quite young when I didn't really like it, but then my dad sort of watched it, so I just sort of followed on, got involved, and sort of enjoyed it as well. Getting FIFAs and whatnot, that sort of put me in it from a video game aspect. But other than that, I love football, and I'm very happy that it's a thing.
And how about you, Jack? Let's go over to you now.
Well, I've always supported Chelsea. I was watching football when I was like I think I started watching it in reception, which has been like, I don't know how many years now.
About 15 years.
Yeah, I played football between like when you first could start and then until the end of year 11. So yeah, football always has been in my life really. But yeah, always supported Chelsea. Obviously Bristol City as well with the boys.
Yes, mate.
Years.
Yes, mate. You know.
Yeah. Obviously last year we haven't been able to watch matches, but before that, I'd go up and watch Chelsea, Bristol City. Did watch Yeovil Town for a little bit when they were good. Yeah, that's about it really.
And today is a big day, boys, isn't it? Today is a big day. We're going to our first football match as a group, or all of our first football match in 15 months. It's been lockdown is finally over in the UK. If you're listening to this internationally, football stadiums are open from May 17th. Today is May 18th, and we're going to watch Town versus Maidenhead United today. So yeah, it's a good day. We're finally getting to watch live football with a crowd, and oh man, I'm so looking forward to it. Up the Oval Town, by the way. Let's go on with me. So my name is Sam Moores, or I'm frequently known on Twitter and stuff as SJ Moores because some other guy has got the same name as me, so that is kind of annoying. So I'm Sam, but you know the owner of this podcast is SJ Moores. I have a really weird route into football. I've never really supported a team until sort of like. Yeah, I used to watch Manchester United in the early days. You know, I think my first footballing memory was watching Man United on, I think it was Boxing Day, like 2006 or something like that, or maybe later 2008, something like that. And it was Man United versus Middlesbrough that day. I think Ronaldo played, and I remember the next day I tried to be Cristiano Ronaldo at Ham Hill, which is a local sort of country Fort Park near us. It's massive. But I remember being Cristiano Ronaldo up at Ham Hill, and then I've watched. I've also sort of met footballers, and they've sort of, you know, that's why I've been rooting for a team. So I met Tom Heaton in about 2010, and he was playing for Bristol City at the time, and I've always followed Bristol City since. And the Oval Town is other local team, so you know, you've always followed the Oval Town. And yeah, that's my route. I just love football. I love watching all kinds of football, and I want to work in the football industry, and so that's why we're doing this podcast essentially. And yeah, that's me, and this is us three. I hope you enjoyed the introduction to the podcast, and yeah, let's go into the next segment. Oh mate, what a story that is, by the way.
I went to Ham Hill and I pretended to be Cristiano Ronaldo.
Mate, it's content.
No, can you let me be the story?
Right. Do you boys think that looks nice?
What is it?
It's called curry rice,
It
right?
looks grim.
You say it looks grim?
That's like I want my arse on.
Mate,
It actually looks like my shit.
it's called curry rice,
It
right?
looks like my shit.
And you get some rice, you get some butter, you mix the rice with butter and some curry powder, and you put it in the oven and bake it, right?
No.
And for some reason, right, I don't know if anyone else has ever had this before, but for some reason, my nan does this with a roast dinner, right? And we don't cook over a roast dinner, but like, my nan does this. Every time we go over to my nan's house, we have this curry rice, right? If anyone else has had this, please get in touch, because I mean, it's very nice with gravy as well. It's lovely, but like, it's so weird. I don't think I've ever encountered anyone that has ever had curry rice before.
It looks grim.
It looks like shit.
Look at
It
it.
actually looks like shit.
It looks so
Oh, when you
nice.
zoom in, it doesn't look as bad, but
Mate, it's so nice.
At first, I thought it was like banana bread or something.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, peg. And then you said it was like curry. Like, ugh.
Nah,
I
mate.
don't like curry anyway, so.
Mate, if you put gravy over that, it's beautiful, mate.
I don't think you like banana.
No, I like banana flavoured things. I like
Oh.
banana like milkshakes and shit. Like banana bread. I eat that. But like I don't like actual eating bananas. I don't know why.
What about oranges?
I'm allergic to that. I can't have that. It's an L.
Really?
Yeah, it's an L.
Right, so boys, it is 1:13 p.m. and on Tuesday, 18th of May, and there's been some breaking news in the Premier League. Roy Hodgson is to step down as Crystal Palace manager. Thoughts?
I mean, he's like what, 73 now?
Something like that, yeah.
Wasn't going to
He's
sign
older
a
than that.
contract. Seems right. I can't. He's retiring. Isn't he?
Yeah, I guess so.
Isn't Frank Lampard favourite to get the Crystal
I
Palace
think
job
he'll
next?
get it. I think it'll be Frank Lampard.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good appointment, to be fair.
I think probably Lampard, Eddie Howe
Oh yeah,
Eddie
Eddie
Howe
Howe.
might be a show as well.
The team needs a rebuild, so Eddie Howe might be the one.
Either way, Palace.
I'd like
I
to see
mean,
Lampard.
with the amount of players they got leaving, they're going to really struggle to stay up next season, and that's just
Do you reckon
facts.
Zaha will
So,
stay now?
I don't know, man.
Even though, like, is he even that good?
What Zaha?
Yeah, like,
Well,
would you
that's-
rate
I
him?
mean, I reckon
Nice man.
he's just as good as Eze, in my opinion. Like him and Eze,
Eze is
basically.
good.
basically got the
I'd
same
say
level.
Eze's sort of taken over being the best player at the moment. I think he's class. I watched him against, was it Villa weekend? Always making shit happen. Like, he was
Yeah, his dribbling's very
second to
good.
none. He had a shot as well that came off the bar. It was like almost dipped in. But like the fact he'd take it on from like it was way outside the box as well. So unbelievable.
Anyway, boys, let's go back into the scheduled podcast and let's talk about the FA Cup final that was on Saturday.
No, please.
So, Jack, as a Chelsea fan, let's give me your rundown of the match.
I I mean, it wasn't the greatest performance from. I've seen a lot better since Tuchel took over. I don't think it was quite the right team either, but I mean, a trophy would have been nice. But I do think top 4, maybe more important. Just definitely just as important, if not more important. And obviously, we got the Champions League final at the end of the month, which is definitely more important. I don't know. I'm not too disappointed if we get top 4, but yeah, it is what it is. Really, Leicester were good. I'll give that to them. And it was nice to see their owner, all the players. They were very happy about that. So, yeah.
Yeah, so in my opinion, obviously Chelsea had to rotate because they got so many games coming up. You know, they played Leicester tonight, don't they? They played Leicester tonight, and you got Champions League final coming up. You got the rest of the Premier League games as well. It's just that I don't know about rotating an FA Cup final. Obviously, Kepa played in goal. The likes of Alonso.
I don't see why he was getting as much slander though, because that shot, maybe Mendy would have saved it, but I don't think.
I saw a guy on Twitter who was like, "Oh, if Mendy was in goal, he would have saved it because he's 6'6".
Yeah.
It's like that. Do you not know how football works? Like you can't just save a shot.
Yeah, it wasn't a good performance. And Jorginho's normally alright. He didn't have a good performance. Werner didn't have a very good performance.
Kante was solid.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Kante was solid. Mount was obviously one of our better players again.
Ziyech was absent.
Yeah, Ziyech.
And that's facts.
Yeah. He hadn't done very much in our past few games for us, really.
So let's just go through the match. So the first proper chance of the game was the Thiago Silva hooked ball over the Leicester defenders over Cianchu, etc. That just missed Werner and Azpilicueta's heads.
Werner took it away from him, which was...
Yeah, Passer scored that.
That
some content.
That looked like that was a certain goal by the sounds of things. Like the defence was fooled. It's just a tap in, with a header or a header. I mean, if it finally let it drop, then maybe Azpi could have tapped it in. But that was a disappointing chance at Chelsea. And then obviously nothing really happened until the end of the first half, where there was that Jamie Vardy effort where not effort, but the chance where Tielemans hooked it over. And Reece James and Vardy were one-on-one.
Reece James was good, to be fair.
Yeah, Reece James, centre-back, just sort of pushed him.
I'm surprised he plays centre-back.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I know Azpi plays centre-back.
Yeah, it's normally Reece James at the wing-back role and Azpilicueta at centre-back. I don't know why it was switched today.
To be fair, I think Reece James had a good game at centre-back, though. So.
Yeah, he was solid. But I do think Azpilicueta, although he might not have done a better job, Reece James would have done a better job as a wing-back, so I don't know why that was switched, really.
It was a shame to see Johnny Evans go off after 32 minutes.
Yeah, he just come back from injury.
Yeah, Leicester rushed him back from injury to play in a final. He's been a key part in their rebuild over many years. Mark O'Brien came on after 32 minutes.
Castagna, the right back, was fitted into the right centre back role. Whatever
yeah,
was.
Of course.
So I thought he done alright.
Of course.
Especially Fofana was class at the back.
Yeah,
Fofana was arguably second best player on the pitch.
Yeah, the first real reckoning of the second half was actually the Tielemans goal. What a goal it was, boys! I mean,
class goal.
Yeah,
brilliantly won back.
The only thing I'm gonna say is there was a handball when it came off his knee and hit his hand.
Shut up.
I know the rules are constantly changing.
Shut up, man. If you think that Oyoze Perez handball was a handball, then it's
but it hit his hand.
His hand wasn't in the natural position.
Yeah, but he was sliding in and it hit. He's like there.
Yeah, I know, but you've seen penalties given for that before.
I don't know.
Even so, it's a brilliant goal.
The way I say is let it be. I'm surprised that they actually didn't bring it back for VAR, but it was a great goal from Tielemans. To be honest.
It's not like he hit it with power. He sort of almost finessed it top corner.
Yeah.
But with power, it was weird. It was a really well worked goal.
I saw a bit of banter on Twitter from Paddy Madden saying his goal was the best goal at Wembley, or Tielemans was the second best with Town player, and then Luke Ayling responded to him saying actually it was Dan Burns' header that was the best goal at Wembley.
Paddy Madden though.
Just to rub in.
Got a golf ball signed by him.
Exactly, they are just to rub in to Paddy. It's playing in non-league now, which is a shame because what a player Paddy Madden was. And then Pulisic and Chilwell came on after about 68 minutes.
Yeah, and Hudson-Odoi then as well.
And Hudson-Odoi and Havertz after 75 minutes. After that, there was the two outstanding saves by Kasper Schmeichel. What a game he had! For the first one, just sort of hooking past the post, and the second one, oh man, what a save!
The second one was the Mason Mount volley, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Mason Mount volley
was.
The Havertz header was a great save, but the Mount volley was an even better save. It was just the game sort of progressed. Chelsea mounting up possession, pressing, just having the majority of the ball in the Leicester half. But they couldn't find a breakthrough until the 88th minute, where Ben Chilwell popped up from a great ball from Thiago Silva, and had a shot, and then the ball sort of scrambled in after there was a big pile up on the line.
Yeah, West Morgan.
Yeah, a great ball from Thiago Silva again. I think he had an outstanding game, in my opinion. And
he's been class for us this season.
yeah, and I mean, but do you think it was a goal? That's the real question I want to ask, boys, because I don't think it was a goal. Again, going by the all season
It was offside.
approach. It's been offside all season, but the fact that VAR has
I
to.
think it was offside, but it's just the way the lines still weren't drawn correctly. I don't understand. Like it's too inconsistent.
It's just the way VAR's been all season. I mean, it's just they're trying to get football into fine margins. I don't think that's right.
It's the fact that like everyone celebrated, and then they just bring it back and just ruin the moment.
Speaking about celebrations, by the way, how good was it to hear actual crowd noise?
Yeah.
Oh man,
it was brilliant.
It looked
hearing different chants.
Looked amazing, sounded amazing as well. Like
in my opinion, that was the best football match I've seen all season.
All season,
Just,
it was a good game.
When Tielemans scored, the eruption of the fans, just even when the ball goes out for a corner, the roar of the fan that makes it's fantastic.
I really hope we see Yeovil score tonight. See the lens.
Maybe win.
Yeovil need to. They're still within a chance of the playoffs. They need to get something forward together. Yeah, they're if they win today, they're 9 points off the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah.
They've got a few games in hand as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
Late playoff push.
Exactly, man.
It's gonna happen.
So anyway, that's how the Leicester game ended. I'm so happy for Leicester because their owners
with everything they've been through over the past couple of years.
That's how they show a perfect example of how to run a football club.
Yeah.
Like you see all the Americanization with Kroenke and the Glazers and John Henry as well. I mean, it's just for Liverpool, it's nice to see a football club run in a very good way, in my opinion. And Leicester fully deserved it. I mean, Chelsea didn't play a full strength side, and only at the end they brought in the big hitters in Havertz and Pulisic, and maybe if they did play a full strength side, they could have won the game. But at the end of the day, I think the Champions League is more important. But they haven't really got a chance winning that, have they? Because City are just too good.
Really?
No.
I think Chelsea will win it.
Really?
I think Chelsea will win it. I think they will. Because it's City. Because City are always sick throughout the season. But when they need to win something, they just don't. They just want the semi-final of the FA Cup to go on to do the potential treble. They kept dropping points as well near the end of how they won the league, obviously against Chelsea in the league. I just can't see it. I can't see City win it. I think Chelsea will win it.
Fair enough. Champions League final predictions coming up next week on the Bullet Header podcast. Now we're gonna blend into our season awards. So let's get into it. So here we are. This is the Bullet Header Season Awards 2020-2021 edition. So we're going to start off with our team of the season. We're going to go goalkeeper to strikers.
So we're telling our goalkeepers each and then moving.
So what formation are you boys going for first off?
4-3-3.
I went for a 4-2-3-1.
Okay, that's fine. Mine could be put as a 4-2-3-1, but I've sort of laid that as a 4-3-3. So let's start with the goalkeeper. Lads, who is your keeper of the season?
I'm going for Martinez from Aston Villa.
Oh yeah?
I went for Edouard Mendy.
So did I. I also went for Edouard Mendy.
Yeah.
Right, first off, because me and Jack have both gone for Mendy. Why Martinez, Luke?
Obviously I could have gone for Edison or Mendy, like you said. But I just think if you compare Villa's defence to Chelsea's and City's, especially with Diaz and I guess the likes of really good Thiago Silva.
Yeah.
I think considering Villa they were relegation threatened last season, now they're established top 10 club. I think he's definitely had an impact. For me, he's the signing of the season as well. 15 clean sheets. I think it just speaks levels, to be honest, about his abilities, and I don't understand why Arsenal let him go, really. I think he's class.
I was looking at putting him in, but then obviously Villa have sort of tanked lately. I mean,
That's mainly because of Grealish, still, I think.
true, but they are conceding goals still. So Jack, go ahead and tell me why you picked Edouard Mendy.
Well, it speaks for itself when you had Kappa last year, who just wasn't the one, was he? You bring in Mendy for about, I think it was 17, 18 million, and he can actually make a save. He's made some crucial saves in Premier League games for us, as well as in the Champions League when we played Real Madrid. There were some ridiculous saves, and I just think he's kind of changed our defence around really, along with the likes of Thiago Silva.
Like I said, I agree with you for Benjamin Mendy. I think most of these players I picked in my team of the season are they're not players that I think many people have in other team of the seasons, but they're more sort of for the impact they have on their teams. And if we take Mendy out of Chelsea's defence, they're a completely different side. And I think Edison, when saying that, Scott Carson played in goal for City the other day and conceded 3 goals, but Edison's another example, to be fair.
He's got a really good defence in front of him.
Yeah, it's true. But I think Mendy is the most crucial keeper in the Premier League to his side. For example, United, De Gea and Henderson switching don't really make much difference, does it? So Benjamin Mendy, I've got some stats here which is backing up. All of my stats are from footballcritic.com. I think it's a great site for stats. I'm not sponsored by them, but if you want to sponsor us, I would appreciate that. But no, I think it's just a great site for stats. It's a bit like Pro Football Focus, the NFL stats site. I think it's awesome. So Mendy, 16 clean sheets, 1.9 saves per game, and 1 pen save a season. This season he's up there with Edison in every single category pretty much, and I think he makes the most impact as a keeper out of any team in the league, other than perhaps Martinez for Aston Villa. So that's my reasoning. Right back. Who have you boys got?
So at first, I did have Vladimir Coufal from West Ham, but I decided to change to João Cancelo from Man City.
Okay, that's an interesting one. The reason why I am criticising this pick is when I watch City, I don't really see much difference when they're playing with Cancelo and when they're playing with Walker. There's no sort of, they basically offer the same thing, but Cancelo has got a good season statistically. I think he's had a great season. So
I just think as well, it's his ability. I don't know if you watched him play, but whenever he plays, he seems to sort of drift into a more midfield position as well.
So he's a bit like Trent.
Which does allow space for players like, Salah or Son to get behind. But I just think he's able to defend that as well. So he's quite technical.
He's quick. He's great in the ball as well.
He's quick, yeah. Because his first season was a bit lackluster. He didn't really play much. He was sort of brought in as a backup to Walker, but I think he's definitely taken on the staple of the main right back now for Man City.
Yeah, that's fair enough. How about you, Jack?
At first I was thinking João Cancelo, but I don't know. In the end, I had to pick between Coufal and I also had Castagne in there. Because I think for his first season in Leicester, he's been brilliant. But I think I'm going to go for Coufal. I just think for West Ham, he's been a great signing. Can attack and defend. He does what you want for a right back, really, and I think he's done that well this season.
So I have also picked Vladimir Coufal as my right back. Again, it's the same thing as Mendy. If you take Coufal out of West Ham, they're not the same side. It's facts. He's got 6 assists and 9 chances created, which for a fullback is amazing. And I listened to the Peter Crouch podcast of Mark Noble the other day, and he was talking about the impact that Coufal and Souček have had on the West Ham side, and he was saying how they're just hard workers, they're training every single day more than anybody else. They're playing head tennis and at lunchtime and stuff like that. And it's just that's the kind of player that stands out to me. And Vladimir Coufal, he's my right back for the team of the season.
It's definitely a season West Ham have got their transfers right.
Yes,
they're normally quite like Haller a couple of years ago. They spend big money, like Theo Anderson as well. They spend big money on players
all the time
you'd think would just be good, but they just aren't. Like this season, Coufal wasn't bought in for less than 10 million.
Yeah, low risk. Well, actually, low risk, high reward transfers.
Yeah.
In Souček and Coufal, both from the French league, from the Czech league. So at the end of the day, I think great business from David Moyes and co there. So let's move over to the other side. Let's do the other fullback. Who's your left back?
So I've gone for Luke Shaw this season. I think this has been his best season in Man United shirt. Obviously, in the past, been criticised by Jose Mourinho when he was manager there, saying that he's just not good. Obviously, people saying he's quite fat, he's not quick, but this season he's turned it around. Fair play to him. Much more attacking, defensively, it looks a lot better. Other mentions you could have had I don't know, Ben Chilwell, Kieran Tierney, Sergio Reguilon, but I just think Luke Shaw has been the best in his position this season.
And Jack?
Yeah, I went for the same as Luke. It's the obvious choice, really. Like Luke said, you have the likes of Chilwell, who have been also really good. But Luke Shaw, he's had 31 games this season, got a goal, got 5 assists. I think he's created a ridiculous amount of chances from left back as well. So yeah, I think he's just the obvious choice there.
So just to speed through as well, my pick is also Luke Shaw. He averages about 20 passes into the final third of a game, so he's a great attacking fullback. And again, like I said, 5 assists. He's probably been one of the most consistent players that United have at the moment in this season. I mean, it's very surprising for Luke Shaw because he's been the opposite of that for many, many, many seasons. So I think that's why.
After his injury as well.
Yeah, I think that's why he's here. I mean, we'll talk more about him later because he does win an award, or at least in my case. But let's go into the centre half. So I think if you don't pick Ruben Diaz,
We could just sort of say
you're stupid. So I think let's just list some stats about Ruben Diaz. He's got 93 pass completion, which for a centre back is amazing.
Hasn't he got something like over 1,000 passes as well? Or something like
He's also been a part of 14 clean sheets in Man City.
Yeah.
So the fact he's 23 and he already looks like it's just so defensively solid.
I was seeing his
intelligent
as well. His confidence in himself is ridiculous.
Statistically, Diaz doesn't really rack up many high stats, but as in you can see when you watch the game that he has a huge impact on that City defence.
Yeah.
Him and John Stones are a great partnership, and I think he just hands to it. I mean, my other centre back is actually John Stones. I think as well he's also got 93 pass completion, 93% pass completion. So the two of them are great ball playing centre backs and modern day centre halves. John Stones has also won 68% of his duels, which is one of the highest in the league, and he's also got 4 goals, which is a joint first for a centre back as well.
That's the same reason why I've also gone for him.
There you are. And Luke, have you gone for John Stones as well?
No.
All right. Who's your centre half, man?
I've been changing this constantly. So first it was Stones, then it was Thiago Silva, then it was Wesley Fofana.
Yeah.
And now I tried to pick Harry Mcguire.
Mate, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
I do. He has a
completely
great season.
turned it around this season. Last season he was a meme, he was a jokesman, but now he's fully come to his own. He's a leader in the Man United defence. He's like the other day when they played, I think it was Leicester, and I don't think he played against Liverpool either. When they played, like Man United looked so defensively just shocking. Like they don't no organisation, and he's really come to himself. So hopefully he's going to be good for Euros.
Yes, that kind of concludes the defence. Me and Jack have got the exact same team so far. Literally the exact same team me and Jack have. Luke's got a few different perceptions. We're going into the midfield now. So how do your midfield work? So I got 1 defensive midfielder, 1 sort of number 8 and 1 number 10. What have you got?
I got 2 defensive midfielders.
I've just got CDM and then 2 centre mids. Really.
Well, actually, I say that one of them's okay. Yeah, it's more 1 defensive and 1's more
centre mid / cams.
Yeah.
Right. So let's just start with our defensive midfielder. Mine is I'll go with mine as well because I think I got a bit of surprise in. Mine is Yves Bissouma, the Brighton central defensive mid / centre midfielder. He is statistically up there in every single category that you want defensive midfielder to be. He's won 60% of his duels, which is 3rd among all central defensive midfielders. 63% of his aerial battles are won as well, which is again 3rd of all central defensive midfielders. And his 1.9 interceptions per game, also a 3rd among all CDMs. And I think that Basuma is another player who just he is a Brighton's team. There are certain players like Basuma, Adam Webster, Lamptey that just make up Brighton's team and probably are a key factor of why they stayed up because they've played 30 games plus and they've been ever present in a side that defensively are brilliant. They just can't put the ball in the back of the net, in my opinion. What do you boys think about the Basuma pick?
Basuma is an interesting one. He's tipped for a big money move as well this summer.
To Arsenal apparently,
Arsenal,
40 million.
One of the two. He's been very good in creating part of this Brighton side this season.
I don't think those kind of stats are more impressive for a lower team side as well because obviously they're having more or getting attacked more. So
yeah.
I think that's fair enough.
Right, so who are your boys' defensive midfielders? Is it Kante by any chance, Jack?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thought it would be.
Yeah, I just think whenever he plays, he's just ridiculously good. You always see the pundits saying it's like having 1.5 men on the pitch, and you can see why. He wins the ball back, hard working, And I think after Sarri's sort of came in and played him a bit further up, he's developed that game along with like his defensive game. So you see him absolutely bombing it forwards to join the attack sometimes, and then getting back and defending. Yeah, I just think he's one of the best CDMs in the game at the moment, really.
There you are. I did toy of putting Kante in, but he's just, he's always in a team this season. I wanted to put someone different in there. So Luke, who is your defensive midfielder?
It was between Højbjerg and Souček. I decided to go with Souček. I just think his impact for West Ham this season will be foul. It's just been impeccable for a CDM to get as many goals as he has. It's been unreal. Very good signing for them. And yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, I have Souček as my other midfielder actually. So.
Oh, okay, there you are.
So yeah.
I think with Thomas Souček, I think he's another one of those players. He's like, I hate to sort of put comparisons about, but he's sort of like a Czech version of I don't know who. He's like a Czech sort of.
Fellaini.
Yeah, Fellaini, but like he's got a little bit of like Milinkovic-Savic in him as well.
Yeah.
He's strong. He's great on the ball. He's a great athlete, and I think he's sort of like Fellaini.
He's a finisher as well.
Yeah, he's like Fellaini, Milinkovic-Savic, that kind of player. To be honest with you, I think I was going to say Milinkovic-Savic, but I was just thinking, is he? But yeah, he is. And I think as well, set pieces, he's always a threat. He's just, if you need the goal, Thomas Souček is there a lot of the time. I mean, his stats are incredible for a central midfielder. So yeah, I think it's a good pick for you, Luke. So my other midfielder, my second one, is İlkay Gündoğan, who I think he's been one of the surprise players of this season.
Is he City's top scorer this?
He's one of the top scorers. Yeah, he's come out of nowhere. He averages 27 final third passes a game, which is the first among all centre midfielders. He also offers 0.64 goal contributions per game to goal assists, and that's first among all centre midfielders as well. So ahead of the likes of Souček and Maddison, for example. I think Gündoğan has had an outstanding season. He deserves to be in there. Has anyone else got Gündoğan?
I was debating putting him in. But...
I changed KDB for.
So you put Gündoğan.
Gündoğan.
Yeah, mate, as well. So are you? So you've taken out De Bruyne, right?
Yeah. Surely for the fact that we talked about earlier, he's not played as much this season.
No.
Even though he is still arguably second, top two best players in the Premier League. I think Gündoğan, the impact he's had, he's definitely been his best City. I think best season in general in a football show. I think just in general for any team. Yeah,
it's facts. So attacking midfielder, I'm assuming you got Bruno Fernandes in there.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. 29 goal contributions, 18 goals, 11 assists, 9 penalties, 9 normal goals before you say he doesn't score goals normally, and 18 big chances created, which is joint first with De Bruyne as well. I think Fernandes has he's been.
As much as I hate him, he's been ridiculous.
He's a great player. He creates goals. He's got a great free kick on him as well. I think Bruno Fernandes, he's up there for Player of the Year. He might not be my Player of the Year, spoiler alert, but he is up there for Player of the Year in PFA terms. And I think Luke, you got Bruno Fernandes as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that completes our midfield. What a player he is. Okay, so front three, I think, is all where we're gonna sort of vary. So who are your two wide players? Let's go for that.
I've gone for Salah and Son.
Okay, why?
Well, Mo Salah. Obviously, Liverpool have been pretty crap this season. There's no denying that. They've not hit the heights that they did last season because they won the league. They won a man and beaten run into Watford. But it's Mo Salah. He's one of the best players in the Premier League. Still 26 goal contributions in total this season. So even when Liverpool are having a bad season, he's still managing to pick up, which is what the likes of Mane lack. But Salah's one of my players, and Son, arguably his best season in a Spurs shirt, 27 goal contributions in terms of goal assists. Yes, he's dropped off a little bit, but even so, I just think what he was doing at the start of the season as well was fantastic. And the thing that strikes me, that 27 goal contributions and 17 goals in particular, because he doesn't take the penalties for the team, unlike Salah.
Yeah.
I just think that's impeccable for how much he's contributed to our attack this season for Spurs.
So my two wide players are also Salah and Son, so I'm going to cut in here, Jack. Sorry about
Yeah,
that. Salah 0.68 goals per game. Second to Diego Jota, who is just he's barely played, so his average is going to be higher anyway. He's got 22 goals, which is joint top Kane. Obviously, I think Salah is another player where you take him out of Liverpool and then not the same side. In my opinion, I think Salah deserves to be in there. He is quite. Quite a lot of people think he's overrated, but I think he's one of the best players in the world on his day. And Mohamed Salah deserves to be in there. Same as Son, he creates 13 chances this season. Second to Grealish of all wingers. So he's not been the best sort of attacking wise because Grealish has been creativity wise because Grealish has sort of barely played this season or he's missed quite a few games because of injury. But the 17 goals from open play is very impressive. And the 10 assists as well, so I think Son deserves to be in there too. How about you, Jack? Who are your two wide players?
Well, obviously I had Salah. I mean, mine are more cams because Salah can play cam or wide. So I had Salah on the right, and then I put Mount on the left.
What do you think about? Obviously, you're a Chelsea fan, but
he's just.
What made you put Mason Mount in there?
Just when you watch him play, he shines on the pitch. He's been ridiculously good for this season. He's just one player of the year at Chelsea. He's created the top. Like one of the most, he's created the most chances. He's one of our top goal scorers. Gets a load of assists, and he may not have as good stats as maybe other players, but when you just watch him, you just know he's different. He's just been ridiculously good for us, really.
And then up top, this is a good reason I like Mason Mount as well. I think he's a great player. He's probably one of the first names in the England squad team sheet. We'll get into that in a couple of weeks' time. Harry Kane. I guess he's all your guys' strikers.
No, Midfielder instead.
No, mate. I sort of always believe you then, man. I was like, well, hang on a minute, what?
No, of course you're going to put Kane.
Mate, Spurs fan, you're going to put Kane, of course you are, aren't you?
Well, even if you're not a Spurs fan, you're going to pick Kane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Spurs fan, I'd pick Kane.
Best player in the Premier League?
Yeah, well, one of the best. One of the best. No. 22 goals, joint top with Salah, obviously. 13 assists as well, which is amazing for a number 9. I think Kane deserves to be up there. I think at the end of the day, he probably is the best player in the Premier League, actually.
I say that because obviously you got De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes, but I just think for a striker to get to be as involved within the playmaking side of football and obviously score the goals, this is definitely his best season ever in a Tottenham shirt compared to 16, 17 and 17, 18. But I just think he's been the best player in the league this season for sure. So
this brings me on actually to the. What we were going to talk about earlier is Harry Kane. He last night it was leaked that he has actually said he wants to leave Spurs. He's told the hierarchy at Spurs that he wants to leave. And Luke, as a Spurs fan, what's your instant reaction to that?
Can I just say there's actually been some news today that is false.
Oh, okay.
He hasn't actually said that he's not handed in a transfer request, but there was a sort of mini agreement saying that was what I read, that him and Levy had talked last summer and said that he'd stay for one more season and then as a gentleman agreement he'd be allowed to go. In my opinion, I can't see him leave him purely because if you're going to negotiate with Daniel Levy, especially within the current market, if you're not offering at least 150 million for Kane, you're going to get turned off instantly. No one's Levy definitely ain't going to accept anything under that unless Kane formally puts in a transfer request, which I can't see him doing personally. But I can understand him wanting to leave, and if he were to go anyway, I just hope it's City, or even better out the Premier League. But that one,
I'd love it if he came to Chelsea.
He won't.
Too funny.
Chelsea and Spurs do not.
See, I think City and United are the two.
I hope he doesn't go United. Maybe following Berbatov, Carrick, Sheringham. I can't be having that.
It's just a natural progression, I guess.
Yeah.
For Spurs players. I guess. I do think that Harry Kane probably should leave Spurs, especially if he wants to win a trophy. But I think if he wants to break Shearer's record, which I think he probably will do if he stays in the Premier League, he's got to go. He's got to stay in the Premier League, and he's got to go to a side like City.
He'll stay in the Premier League because he's a class
or
player.
United. Also, I mean, English fans probably want to watch him every week. I mean, I want to watch Harry Kane every week. He's a great natural goal scorer. I think
it's just down to Levy as well, whether he's going to actually invest in the team and make it better.
I think because Daniel Levy's been caught out a little bit with the Super League, I think something will change with him. I reckon.
I mean, hopefully, I think if Kane leaves, that will be Enoc's project failing because you failed your best player in the Premier League history. As I think most Spurs fans would agree with me, that Harry Kane is arguably our best player that we've ever had during the Premier League era. And if he failed him, the Enoch project's done. They should resign personally, but I don't think that will happen.
There we are. Whilst we're on it as well, we'll talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold. There is a report that he will not be in the 26-man England squad for the Euros. I think that is an absolute disgrace,
That's
personally.
a disgrace.
I'm not really the biggest fan of Gareth Southgate in the first place, but that is just... I think, yes, okay, Trent isn't the best defensively, and yes, he has been caught out on multiple occasions, but he's still young. He's a great goal creator. He's up there. I think he's got the best creation rate of any fullback in the Premier League, and yet he's been injured for one, and he's still he's had a poor year on sort of his terms. I think Liverpool have been poor in the first place. I think if you put Van Dijk next to him, he's a much better defender. And I reckon the England shirt he probably will be better than playing next to Nat Phillips and Kabak or Fabinho. But at the end of the day, I don't think Gareth Southgate
Definitely
cannot
put him in
pick
the squad, but
Trent Alexander-Arnold for the England squad. I mean, you may say he doesn't start. I think he'd be great to play against Scotland or against who's the other team? Is Croatia, Scotland? Who's the other team in that group? Czech Republic. I think you can play. I think you can play him against them. Maybe play someone like James or Walker against Croatia in the groups. But I personally think I think you've got to do it. I think Trent has got to be in the squad.
I just throw out a question as well with regards to Euros. If we don't come minimum the final,
Yeah.
do you think Southgate should go?
Yeah.
Because I think
England are
in terms of this England side,
The best
likes
squad
of
in the
Foden,
competition.
prime Kane now,
Yeah.
you need to be winning this competition, especially considering the half of it's going to be in England.
Every single group game England are playing at Wembley. So
Exactly. You need to win it. For me, this would be push come to shove for Southgate, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's two major tournaments that they've got to a final. I think this is probably the best chance England have got to win a major tournament probably ever, or at least since the 90s. Actually, compared to 2006, they probably should have done a lot better.
Depends where Eric Dyer's going.
No. Eric Dyer, mate. If Eric Dyer goes to the Euros, it's guaranteed
He'll
penalty.
get picked.
That's a guaranteed penalty, mate.
Guaranteed.
Penalty goal, easy, guaranteed. Okay, so just to finish up the podcast, we're going to go through our actual individual awards. So we've got Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, and Manager of the Year. Let's start with Player of the Year. Who is your Player of the Year, boys?
Kane.
yeah, same here, Kane.
Harry Kane. Okay, it's just okay. Not many people pick Harry Kane as their Player of the Year,
Which
so
I think is stupid.
that's what I've seen jotted about. But explain to me why you picked Harry Kane.
Well, he's been the best player in the league this season. Yes, you can say Spurs have obviously not in the Champions League places. We might not even get Europa League football, but I just think himself. It very much reminds me of when Gareth Bale's last season, where he's just pulling the team, almost carrying the team himself at times, just getting the odd goal there. I just think if it was between him, Bruno, and Diaz, for sure, but I just think if you look at what he's done this season, it's got to be Kane.
Same reasons as Luke. 33 games, 22 goals, 13 assists, and they're still for a team that's finishing outside the top six, or where are they at the moment? Sixth.
I think it's sixth, yeah. So.
Yeah, I think that's just ridiculous stats for that really. So yeah, that's why he's my Player of the Year.
See, my Player of the Year is Ruben Diaz. I think
Yeah,
he's
that's
just
fair enough. I couldn't decide between him and Kane.
He's a general consensus for Player of the Year. That's what I've seen on social media anyway. Average rating, according to Football Critic, 7.2 average rating per game, which is incredible. He averages 94.8 touches of the ball per 90 minutes, which for a centre-back shows he's great with the ball. 14 clean sheets, like I said, 93% passing accuracy, but it's more the fact that he has come into City, and I reckon, other than maybe Gundogan or Foden or De Bruyne, contributing, he has basically won City the league. I personally believe, because their defence was their issue. They've tried to fix it, the likes of Laporte and Otamendi and all these and centre backs over the years that just haven't worked out, and then Diaz was the one that has worked out, and he's had a great season. I think he deserves Player of the Year on that, or for those reasons. To be honest with you, I think Ruben Diaz, best Player of the Year, player in the Premier League this season. On to our Young Player of the Year. I think if you don't go for Phil Foden, which is who I've gone for, I'm not really understanding why I picked them. Maybe you could pick Mount in your case, Jack, which I get.
I actually went for Ruben Diaz.
I went for Ruben Diaz, who you could count as Young Player of the Year, yeah. But for me, I got Phil Foden, 88% pass completion, which is great for a midfielder because you're passing a lot more than a centre back is. 22.8 final third passes per game, 0.7 goal contributions per game and 7 goals and 5 assists. He's not played much, but I think Young Player of the Year sort of, you take that away. It's more about development, and Foden clearly looks like one of the best players on the pitch whenever City play. He is he's generational, Phil Foden. I think he's probably my favourite player to watch at the moment. Anyone, I mean, just what a player to watch. So I think Phil Foden, Young Player of the Year. I think, Luke, have you got Foden as well?
Yes, I have. I just want to give a quick shout out to Wesley Fofana.
Yeah.
I think he's been very solid, considering he's only 20 years old and he's looking like a proper leader in that Leicester side. In a centre back, very solid, very sound defensively as well. And I just think he'll definitely be one of the best players in the Premier League at some point, defensive wise. But yeah, like you said, Foden, one of the best players to watch at the moment. He's just, because when we think of Foden as this cam, but Pep's been playing him as more of a winger.
Or a front as well.
Or a false, as a false nine, which can sort of lead to discussion whether Sterling should be dropped ahead of him for the Euros.
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother topic.
Foden can play anywhere as well. Versatility. I mean, it's like.
I think yes. I think he's a definite starter in my opinion.
Well, for the Euros, Euros pod's coming soon. Little advert there. And obviously, Jack, you've got Ruben Diaz, who we talked about before. Right, your comeback player of the year. So this award is something they have in the NFL every year. I think it's a nice award to have for us as well. The comeback player of the year is the player who battles through a lot of adversity and come back and had a great season. So Ryan Tannehill's won it, and Alex Smith won it. The two quarterbacks in recent times, they've had injury upon injury, and they've come back and had a great season and led their team to the playoffs. And I mean, Alex Smith's story as well. His story was phenomenal. So my comeback player of the year is similar to the Tannehill and Alex Smith story. It's Luke Shaw, who he's only played 30 games in a season twice. This is only his second ever season with 30 plus games, which is very poor. He's been in the Premier League for like 8 or 9 years now. He has 0 errors leading to goals as well, which is, for a defender, that's a stat you want to see. No errors leading to a goal. He's created 7 chances. And at the end of the day, and he's got 5 assists, at the end of the day, this statistically is his best ever season, Luke Shaw, and he's one of the mainstays in the United side. He is really competing with Chilwell, who I think is amazing for the left-back role for England, and I think Luke Shaw deserves comeback player of the year. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, fair enough.
I've gone for the same, actually, so...
There you are. I think Luke Shaw deserves it. Luke, you've not gone for Luke Shaw. Who have you gone for?
I gone for Jesse Lingard. Beans.
Oh no. Oh god. Be quick.
Very good player. Battled a lot of adversities family wise, but he's come into West Ham, he's completely changed them. I think it's like 9 goals and 3 assists in 11 games, which I think is mad for him. I really hope he stays at West Ham, purely because I think he just suits the team. But I love him at Spurs. I love Lingard, he's one of my favourite players. But other than that, just Lingard for me, definitely come back player.
Over the year. I think Jesse Lingard, if he gets the England squad, I mean, it is deserved, but I don't want him in the England squad because he's just meme. And I know he's a great player, you can't deny that, and he has transformed West Ham since coming in January. Okay, manager of the year, who's yours?
Moyes.
Yeah, I think Moyes is one of the obvious choices.
All right, I've not gone for Moyes, but go tell me why you picked Moyes.
36 games this season, he's won 17 of them. Obviously, they've been battling in the lower half over the past couple of seasons.
And so especially last season, tragic.
Yeah, he's brought them up, battling for the Champions League now, and looking like they're going to at least get Europa League.
So David Moyes is making West Ham Champions League or European specialists.
So Dan Moyes, I think I personally believe it's between him, Brendan Rodgers, and Pep Guardiola.
Brendan Rodgers is number 1.
Yeah, I've gone for Pep Guardiola purely because I think the way City have played this season has been they've been so nice to watch.
Yeah, the way they come back from before Christmas, where they weren't doing as well.
The tiki-taka football, the free-flowing attacking players that Gundogan's, up top sometimes, and the way that they all move, it's just there's no sort of set formation or set way to play. They just play football with the the Spanish way, as you'd say. And I mean, he's developed Phil Foden tremendously. I think he's been tactically excellent, masterminding games without a true number 9 or a goal scorer, because Aguero has been out for the entire season pretty much, and Jesus isn't that great in my opinion. He's got a chance at the treble as well in the Champions League, Premier League, and the League Cup. Obviously, the Champions League is the only one they haven't won yet. The do have a chance at a treble. And I think Pep Guardiola deserves it. I mean, that's that great clip that came out last night of him smoking a cigar, singing "Don't Look Back in Anger" by Oasis, and that, I mean, it hasn't swayed me, but that is a top moment from a manager. You don't normally see that from a manager, and I think Pep Guardiola deserves Manager of the Year. So that's all for the Bullet Header first episode. We'll see you next week. It's been fun, and don't forget to get on the socials. On Instagram, we're at Bullet Header Pod. Have a good rest of the day. Goodbye.